And it's amazing what we are going to be able to do. So this interoperability system is crucial for improving the system. It will reduce bureaucracy and streamline data sharing across agencies, as well as eliminate the need for repeated paperwork and so on. Interestingly, ladies and gentlemen, when I was pushing for the implementation of these projects, many people said I had abandoned economics to pursue digitalization. They did not understand that I was just using digitalization to solve economic problems. The launch of the Ghana Interbank Payments and Settlement System in 2008, at the time which I led at the Bank of Ghana when I was Deputy Governor, marked another leap toward efficient and secure financial transactions. Since 2009, mobile money has significantly broadened financial access, with over 60% of Ghanaians aged 15 and older now holding mobile money accounts. And with the expansion of the internet coverage, we've seen that internet penetration in Ghana has increased from 32% in 2016 to 73% now, right? So we've really increased internet penetration. Indeed, thanks to our implementation of mobile money interoperability between banks and mobile companies, Ghana is now the only country in Africa with 100% access to financial inclusion. The only country in the whole of the continent. We have 100% access to financial inclusion, which basically means that today your Momo account works like a bank account, and you have access to it. If anybody who wants to open a mobile account today can open. Nobody will stop you, right? You have 100% access. I remember that when I made a statement in 2017 that with the implementation of mobile money interoperability, every Ghanaian will be able to have a bank account. When I said that, many people did not understand it. They even made jokes about it. They did not think it was possible. But today we have made it possible. A Momo account has effectively become a bank account thanks to interoperability. And anyone who wants one can get it. Since 2020, the accelerated digitalization of government services has transformed how citizens securely and efficiently interact with public institutions. Coupled with the widespread issuance of the Ghana card, the integration of national databases, and the remarkable expansion of financial inclusion, Ghana is now fully prepared to implement a comprehensive credit scoring system. This system will enhance access to credit and strengthen trust in our financial system, paving the way for a thriving credit economy. Ladies and gentlemen, the launch of My Credit Score today introduces a critical tool that will transform Ghanaians' access to credit and financing. The initiative comes at a crucial time in Ghana's financial sector. As has been stated earlier, Ghana's non-performing loan rate stands at about 24.3%, which is quite high. Such high NPL levels reflect challenges within our financial ecosystem, where the lack of a standardized, transparent credit scoring system has contributed to elevated risks for lenders and limited financial inclusion for borrowers. The introduction of My Credit Score represents a pivotal step towards addressing these challenges, aligning Ghana's credit ecosystem with international standards and promoting a culture of responsible borrowing. Notably, as was just stated earlier, results from the My Credit Score pilot demonstrate a stark improvement, achieving an NPL ratio of less than 4%, a remarkable contrast to the national average. By enabling a fairer and more consistent evaluation of credit worthiness, My Credit Score is expected to reduce defaults significantly, strengthen confidence among financial institutions, and expand access to credit for individuals and businesses alike. The initiative reflects a broader commitment to sustainable economic growth, where financial stability and trust in credit practices play foundational roles. With the implementation of systems like My Credit Score, Ghana is poised to transition into a financial ecosystem that not only facilitates responsible borrowing and lending practices, but also drives economic resilience and inclusive growth for all stakeholders. This system is designed to reward financial responsibility. As John Ewa was saying earlier, that if you have good credit, the banks will look for you and design products for you. They'll be chasing after you to lend to you. That is how we want to see it. So it will reward financial responsibility and offer individuals the opportunity to demonstrate their credit worthiness transparently and confidently. For the first time, Ghanaians will have access to a credit score that can open doors to improved financing options, helping them to realize their goals and contribute to economic growth. A credit score is much like a financial report card. It quantifies your repayment history, debt levels, and credit behavior into a single number, making it easier for banks and other lenders to assess your financial reliability. In fact, I believe, and I don't think the point was made, with what we are putting together in Ghana with CADIS and the integration of our various databases, our credit score, the information content of the credit score in Ghana is going to be much higher than in many other advanced nations which don't have the level of data integration that we are building in Ghana. So, ladies and gentlemen, to truly understand the potential impact of My Credit Score, imagine that for many Ghanaians, owning a car represents freedom, flexibility, and improved job opportunities. And recent new graduates can have the opportunity to own cars that when they leave and they get a job, that their credit score could help them get a car, buy a home, and start a business, and so on. So all of these reflect the broad and transformative impact of an effective credit economy. Beyond individuals, My Credit Score will contribute to a more resilient and inclusive financial system. With a lower rate of non-performing loans, banks and financial institutions will gain confidence in lending, supporting a cycle of growth and trust. Furthermore, as Ghanaians embrace financial responsibility, we move toward a society where fair access to credit becomes the norm, empowering individuals, families, and businesses alike. This system is a pathway to opportunity, helping unlock the potential of every Ghanaian. By creating a credit system that is open, reliable, and fair, we are setting the stage for a future where financial empowerment is within everyone's reach. With this launch, ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to be like the United States, Canada, or the UK overnight, but we are starting a progress and probably better than theirs. It is possible. This is a great day for Ghana, and I want to thank the Bank of Ghana, my credit score, and all other stakeholders. It is important that all potential lenders and borrowers and retailers should be educated and sensitized on the workings of a credit scoring system. I would like to thank in particular the governor of the Bank of Ghana, this team, the management team, the head of banking supervision, who have worked very, very hard to make sure this day is taking place. Sometimes we don't really understand these major milestones when we reach them as a country. This is a major milestone. It's a major milestone. I want to thank you for the work that you have done. This credit scoring initiative that you have licensed, which we are launching today, is huge, and Ghana will forever be grateful. I'm also excited that this initiative is a Ghanaian homegrown private sector initiative. As you will notice, this is a trend in all the digitalization projects we have done, all of them. I believe in the private sector, and I believe that that is where you will get the most from, the society. And so everything we have done, from the Ghana card to the digital property address, Ghana.gov, everything, we have tried to get the private sector to take the lead. You see, I always say that, in the private sector, when systems don't work, they lose money. In the public sector, when systems don't work, they make money. so the incentives are a bit warped. So I always prefer the private sector to make sure systems work so that they make money and we all get good services. Ladies and gentlemen, we will continue to support our private sector to champion such initiatives in the digital and other sectors. Let's move forward with optimism and purpose, knowing that together we are building a Ghana where financial inclusion is real, dreams are within reach, and every Ghanaian has the chance to achieve financial security and prosperity. I will thank you all for your attention. And I don't know whether it's at this point that I say we have launched or we will wait for the launch. So I'll let them tell me whether I announce now or later, but I'll take my leave now. Thank you very much for your attention.
Your Excellency, respectfully would like you to declare it launched, and then we'll know that our job here is done.
Thank you very much. It is with great, great pleasure, honor, that if you can sit down, I'm most honored, privileged. Today, it's a historic day that I am here to declare my credit score Ghana officially launched for Ghana. Thank you very, very much. God bless you. God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Imagine a Ghana where your credibility paves the way to your dreams. Picture yourself paying rent monthly instead of 2 years advance. Getting that new car with back the money you borrow. Whether your score is 300, 500, or 750, each range signifies your financial trustworthiness. And here's the catch. A good credit score is your ticket to financial opportunities. A solid credit score grants you access to personal loans, mortgages, and business funding, all while saving you money with lower interest rates. It doesn't stop there. A good credit score makes you more attractive to potential employers, lowers your insurance premiums, and enhances your chances for visa applications. Before we continue, Here's how to calculate your credit score. Picture your credit score as an end-of-term report. But for your financial habits, it's based on several factors. First, your payment history, how reliably you pay your bills on time. Then, there's the amount you owe compared to your credit limit, known as credit utilization. Keeping this low shows lenders you are responsible. The length of your credit history matters too. The longer, the better. And don't forget new credit accounts and the types of credit you use. Mix it up wisely. But here's the thing, it doesn't matter how much money you earn. What matters is your credit worthiness. Banks may have money, but they need assurance that you will repay their loans. The cost of background checks often outweighs the loan amount being asked for, leading to denials. So, why does it matter? In Ghana, where a significant working class population struggle to afford the basics of a good life upfront, credit scores become crucial. With a good credit score, you can afford everyday groceries, your basic bills like electricity and water, and pay later. It's not just a number. It's your gateway to economic progress. And here's the best part. The Ghana card makes it easier than ever to track and improve your credit. Speaking of the Ghana card, wondering how it is possible to track your credit score right here in Ghana? Well, enter My Credit Score, a bridge to a brighter financial future for every Ghanaian. My Credit Score is a credit bureau licensed by the Bank of Ghana. It's the first credit bureau to go beyond issuing credit reports to provide accurate personalized credit scores for all Ghanaians with a Ghana card. Visit mycreditscore.com.gh today and start building your credit for the life you deserve.
My Credit Score, Empowering Futures. That's the very big message coming to us. And at this time, I believe it's right to just ask all members of the hardworking team at My Credit Score to rise so that we can congratulate them. This is a result of amazing work. Shall we do a big round of applause for the hardworking team? Can you wave at us? Please wave at us. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations to you. We appreciate you greatly. And this is at the highest height of innovation. Your Excellency, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, here in Ghana, as part of our norms and our values, whenever someone does something this elaborate for you, you say thank you. And today will be no different. So at this time, we'd like to first of all say a very big thank you to His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, who came here supported by a strong team of some ambassadors and some ministers of state and heads of various state agencies. We're also grateful to industry collaborators, especially the Central Bank, who have been very, very supportive and very collaborative in terms of ensuring that the seal of approval was given to the My Credit Score app. We're grateful to the whole team at the Central Bank. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we do a big round of applause for them? Would also like to say a very big thank you to our friends from the media. One very big platform that ensures that news as positive as this gets to different parts, not only of this country, not only of the sub-region and the continent, but the rest of the world. We're grateful to you as able partners, and we know that you are going to be with us along this journey. Also would like to say a very big thank you to the industry. By the industry, I'm talking about the tech industry and all those institutions that will be at the receiving end in terms of usage of this very effective application. It is our hope that together we will all cooperate and ensure that this becomes a household element when it comes to establishing trust and ensuring that funding and starting off very big business ideas becomes the order of the day so that the development agenda of our nation will stand strong and will be sustained. When the proverbial cock crows tomorrow morning, it will be the strong team at My Credit app saying a very big thank you to you. My Credit Score app saying a very big thank you to all of you for making this worth it and making this a very important element in the development history of our nation. We started off with a prayer, and it's right that we wrap things up with a thankful prayer. In that regard, I'd like to respectfully welcome up here Mr. Alhassan Yakubutali, to give us a Muslim prayer to wrap things up. Shall we welcome him with a big round of applause?
Alhamdulillah, it is indeed possible. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, let us give thanks and praise to the Almighty Allah for this successful launch. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amen.
And of course, the word Amin and Amen means let everything that has been said come true. So you'd have to say it louder. Amin. Thank you very much. Shall we do one more big round of applause? Your Excellency, honorable ministers, distinguished guests, ladies, gentlemen, good people of Ghana. My name is Nathaniel Atto. It's been a pleasure serving you as your master of ceremonies. And all I can say is, let's keep meeting at places like these where we'd have positive stories to tell about the development of our nation, the innovation and the forward story. The idea to always want to align with the great digital standards of the rest of the world. Ghana will work again, and I believe that with all of our commitment and with the support, we will get there. Shall we all now rise for the national anthem of the Republic of Ghana? And the Ghana Police Band has been ably conducted by Chief Inspector Techu. Shall we do a big round of applause for them? And on that note, we would like to respectfully invite His Excellency, the Vice President, back onto the stage together with all our dignitaries on the front row for a memorable photograph. Would also like to invite the executive team of my credit score app to come over for a memorable photograph. Thank you. Shall we now all rise? Shall we now all rise as we bid farewell to His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana? Thank you all very much, and may the good Lord bless our homeland, Ghana.
Bia, we are gonna ya. Walk up was here. Say, bang you, Sabantino. Now, the canty. You do walk to please you. Me buy ya, what the car. One go we are the Nabosiano about. You do walk to Modi. When be as you are more about one. So about so remember what the count one you do walk to please ya. Maybe you are more about one thing. As someone will catch them. To Ghana for more about what's saying what the prison when you are young was it. Maybe I am a baby in our mother. I have a mama. The Sicano will be uncle Uncle Bobosia. The Sicano, that's a common over no assault to him, want to him crash the canoe. The common over, and to you control the animal, I say, and you are to prison. And to me, baby, you want what the prison and what the cardiac. Be you in our mother one thing. Some more.
Na pome. Ah, also ba fulani for November day. Be president of Ghana. Arentia. Omere.
Akuafo amokunku amokoto amorira amokunku okoto ani wori rira mu. No kono, no ni mu anawe de duane. Okay. Watermelon say, osi watermelon from say pe. E wa na okunku ani no. Oti twa watermelon no. Na na mu anawe. Okay. Da bia omuku akuafo sa, obi aso nka omote.
So be president ah.
Awurade.
Obere.
E pa mo bu nyina obi ara bia la nko. Bia la nko de krom.
Na, ana Jehovah Witness for so be omere.
Ana so dia me ye fe na mo maji card, me me nto. So obo se nto aba. Da card ni ya de ma so fa to bi.
Dabi.
Ya se nfa nto aba. Ana mo baji na nto bu dem a. Na risi ya to aba na. We se na me nipa anto bi enti. Ana we se na me nipa anto bi enti na ma na nso. Mo wi ya fi se le ho afo aje ho bu dem. Mama aje ho bu dem enti na nso. Enti se kai. Na se nya be se pemiensa. Ye be sa akoto aba na pemi no. Na mo apemo ko. Mo apemo no. Ya ho afo na aje. Ya de to kwa. Ya de to kwa na ba.
To be president ah.
Oh, magic card.
Magic card no.
Kan jo sa magic card no ko to dem. E fa ko yo business. Ya se afanto aba.
Afanto aba.
Sa anti me ba. School free no me nam de ba e.
Free to
ya maka mo nyi ni sa pepepe. E wo he ma ye twa be wo so be fa ni mo. Wa nya ba bia amfa sa ha na be fa. Ah, ma men kan chere na de no nim se wo twa be. Wo so be fa ni mo. Me so wo twa dia chere wo bia. Ya wachira besemenye mayewie menkata no masayewie o ka semenye so de abaika mebeka menkata ye meni abaika me biaso me chere mo na mo kama me meni abaika agora what the book ya the challenge in that can hold the plane can hold. So be a 1 year I feel what you and yeah, will be a 1 year and and then I'm going to pay. When you say I'm going to buy when I go and buy you, we are day more. We are day more. The bonfire and I'm going to talent. But be also 1 year of it, where your bass from or your new personal. The poor basso, I didn't go to I don't know what it is. Maybe I can't say, what's it? Anytime you know what I say. Yeah, your Bahama can be said. And so say, Guy may a family. Now, maybe no me you. I buy and say, I will listen to enforce the bar say, will be on what church, you know. I won't croon in our class inside. Where the other more can say, or your best sign. One fat in the fear no ma. No one found one for no ma. To me, I was say, I did And one more say, if you are no money, if one of my go so. One more at me, that's what you have. That's also in the moment. What for computer at now? Now I watch your now, they're better anymore. Yeah, no. I'm found that I do. I don't that. My baby, I'm yes, I was saying, I'm that's not what I'm on. I'm not so much to get it. And yeah,
Kwalebu was, I think, 380.
380.
Yes. But private, some are 500, 450, some are 800, 860.
Per session,
yes.
You have to do 2 every
week.
Yeah.
Even if someone earns 5,000 Ghana cedis every month, that person cannot keep paying 380 cedis 3 times a week for dialysis.
Majority of the people who need dialysis to survive in Ghana don't even earn half of the amount mentioned.
Some people battling organ diseases end up losing their jobs because their companies cannot keep paying them for always being absent.
How are these people expected to afford the monies needed for dialysis as well as other expenses, talk less of the huge amounts they have to come up with for transplantation surgeries outside Ghana when they get donors?
It is because of these people that GhanaWeb in August 2023 launched the organ donation legislation campaign to push for the country to pass a law that will guide organ harvesting and transplanting.
As Kolebu plans to increase dialysis fees, the situation requires quicker attention and action.
And so, we must get Parliament to start discussing the organ donation bill and pass it into law.
Now, when this bill is passed, more lives will be saved and the financial burden on patients would be reduced.
And that is why we need you to join us on this campaign. Join the campaign by sending a 1-minute video of yourself sharing why Ghana needs a legislation on organ donation now to editor@ghanaweb.com or via WhatsApp 0552 699 625. Alternatively, you can share the video directly on your social media handles with the hashtags #PassOrganDonationLaw and #LegalizeOrganDonationNow. Organ failure should not be a death sentence.
GhanaWeb in August 2023 launched the organ donation legislation campaign.
2007. I was Ghana Police Service.
The sad reality is that today our democracy as a country is threatened.
Words of affirmation or love language comes to urge us.
When this bill is passed, more lives will be saved and the financial burden.
Ghana football is sinking, we need to save it, was the message on the lips of every Ghanaian football enthusiast. But about 9 months later, it seems the ship has sunk deeper as the Black Stars are now on the verge of not qualifying for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. After 4 games in the qualifiers, Ghana have drawn 2 games and lost 2 games. When it gets uglier like this, we need to sit down with experts and get their in-depth analysis and opinion on the situation. So, on this episode of GhanaWeb Sports Check, I'm going to talk with one of the renowned journalists in the country, award-winning Sadiq Adams. I'm Emmanuel Enin, and I'm glad to have Sadiq Adams on the show today. Welcome, Sadiq.
Thank you very much, Emma.
I started with Black Stars, so that's where we are going to start off from. How did we get here?
Well, it's been coming for some years now. At least the last decade has seen a very palpable decline in the graph. You could clearly see from the downward spiral since AFCON 2014. AFCON 2015, actually, when we got to the finals in Equatorial Guinea, we've been sinking. We got to the quarterfinals and then got to the round of 16 in Egypt. We got to the group stage in Cameroon and group stage in Ivory Coast. Clearly, this should tell you that there is no spiritual connotation to it. We've just been descending because we've not had a foundation to rest on. When you get to the point where you need to face players out there, need to be new players in the team. So we are here because we've not had a plan since the phase of ACN and Co started getting out.
So you are attributing the problem to not having a plan. Do you believe in some people's assertion that coaching is really the problem and not having a plan or foundation or anything?
Coaching is a problem, but in a broader sense, coaching can only be a problem because we are not having a lot of coaches to train quality players. So it's not the coach of the Black Stars. The coach of the Black Stars is only a manager. You don't teach Sule Muntari or Kudus how to kick a ball. So the coaching problem is from the base, from the league, from the Division 1, from the under 17, under 20. This is where you need to train players to be better when they get to the Black Stars level. The Black Stars coaches barely do any magic when you have a strong team. Milovan Rajvac was not an exceptional coach, but he met a very strong team. He just needed to do a little bit of touch, discipline, tactics, and whatever. But if you want to build a strong national team, you start from the base. And that's where we don't have quality coaches to do that over the years. So with the Black Stars, I think it's not a problem of Otuado. We've brought 6 coaches in 5 years. We've not resolved it. It's not a club side, and so you cannot keep getting players into the team like you are going on a market scene to purchase players like the clubs do. With the national team, you make do with what you have. That's exactly what I'm saying. So we have a coaching problem, but not the coaching problem at the Black Stars. If it was at the Black Stars, the 6 changes would have at least occasioned some change. Nothing has happened.
Someone will also argue that if you look at our last 6 coaches that we've appointed, we've not appointed any top-class coach. That's the reason why we are here today.
The problem is that what's the definition of a top-class coach? Ghana has never appointed a top-class coach bar Avram Grant, who could not win any trophy for the team. So I would think that Chris Hughton, in his context, is a top-class coach. Any coach who has coached in the Premier League is a top-class coach. So we have done that. We have gone for mediocre, we have gone for top-class coach. None of it is working. So you cannot attribute it to coaching. It is purely managerial and lack of a talent pool that we have to build into a team. We have the talent, but lack of the organization and planning to put them, because the coaches will only add managerial aspect of it, managing the players' ego, managing their lifestyle, managing what they do and tactics. But you know, it's become the refrain in Ghana. Everybody wants to talk about coach. Once they beat your team as a coach, they don't even look at the other circumstances. So I understand people when they want to blame a coach. And I understand even people in GFA when they want to blame a coach. I understand people in government when they want to blame a coach, because that's the easiest target. But the problem is with those people.
So it seems you are emphasizing on the transition of our players and coaches. If you compare to how things are being done right now under this administration and the previous administration, what do you think is the changes and that's causing the downfall of the team right now?
Well, so the previous administration, you get to a point when the national team is declining. There are two options I always maintain, that you either fall back on your under-20 team, which is the next available team after the Black Stars, or you rely on the local players. We have done both. Ghana has gone domestic sometime. In 2001, we went with an entirely local team to play Nigeria in a World Cup qualifier because we could not put together our foreign-based guys. They were reluctant. Some of them had become nonchalant to national team collapse. We went to Nigeria to draw with local-based players. Ghana has also relied on under-20 in 2004, 2002 when we went to Mali. We relied on an under-20 core of the Rebuate, Michael Essien, Suleiman Tari, John Painstil, Razak Pimpon, Razak Ibrahim, Adukwe Papo, all of them from under-20. So we have done both. In this instance, when Ghana wants to rely on under-20, who are we going to rely on? Do you know of our under-20 team and who has the capacity in that team to play in the Black Stars?
People will mention Jerry every.
And who else? Even the Jerry every year will not break into the Black Stars team. He's not like Kojo Asamoah. He's not like Andre Ayew. He's not like Rabiu. He's not like those players who have played at the top level to break into the Black Stars. He's a good player, but he's not at that level. Because Michael Essien and co had played at the under-20 African Cup and World Cup. Jerry hasn't done that yet. He's only playing in Wafu and the others. He needs to play the AFCON, make a mark, play at the World Cup under-20. This is where you get the transition. So we don't have under-20, we don't have a local. Who in the local league do you think can play in the Black Stars at this point? So all the two options are shaky. That's where you can clearly observe that there's a big problem for us.
Okay, so with the trajectory and you hitting on the transition and everything, you were one of the conveners of the Save Ghana football demonstration. With where the team is right now, not on the verge of not qualifying, do you sit back and say you've been vindicated for fighting for a right cause? Well, seeing it beforehand.
Vindication is in the womb of time, and time has actually occurred. But I don't see this as a vindication, really. I see it more of a graph and performance that is showing. So the chicken have finally come home to roost. This was coming, and when a woman is pregnant, there is only one outcome. I don't think we are vindicated, because everybody knows, unless of course you are in Ghana and you don't follow sports. Everybody who follows sports knows that we were getting here. So I don't think it's a vindication, because we knew that we would get here. After 2 group stage exits at the AFCON, where else will you be? The only place is not to qualify, because you are struggling to play against the weakest teams in the group. So if they meet you at the qualifiers, you struggle. That's where we are now. So it was coming. We were vindicated years back.
Right. So looking at the Save Ghana football demonstration that you led, if somebody wants an update on it, are we getting towards to getting the people or the hierarchy or the government implement some of the things you signed in the petition?
Well, we presented a petition. We waited for months before Parliament invited us. We have gone to Parliament. We have put forth the petition and elaborated it extensively. Parliament called us over last week that they are putting together the report. So we are just waiting for the report. Parliament is putting together the report. We are just waiting for the report to see what is contained in that report and how far that can go to change the fortunes of Ghana football. So we have done our part. The update is that Parliament is putting together a report, and we can promise that very soon there will be a report on the performance of the Black Stars and our national teams in general. And we can read it publicly, access it, and see what it contains, if it actually carries the intent and the purpose for which we did the demonstration.
All right, and I think it's been a pretty good conversation and insight, getting what the current administration is doing wrong and what was being done right, and where the team is right now. Let's go for a quick break. When we return, we'll continue the conversation with Sadiq Adams. welcome back from the break. We are still having an in-depth conversation with Sadiq Adams to get what's happening or regarding the situation of the Black Stars. Sadiq, one of the most topics that came out of our qualifiers, the last 2 games against Sudan, and then was the captaincy issue. Do you think as a country we've learned anything from what happened previous years?
Well, with the Black Stars captaincy, I find it quite troubling that it's always a topic. I don't find any trouble with it, but because of the history of the captaincy issues, Otuado has come in. He has changed the captaincy structure. For Otuado, it is Thomas Partey, his captain, Deputy Alexander Jiku, and then Mohamed Kudus. So Kudus was only made the captain of the game against Sudan purely because Alexander Jiku was being punished per my investigations. So I don't think there's an issue now because Jordan Ayew has not said he wants to be a captain, and he's not even part of the structure that Otuado has set up. So it is Partey, Jiku, and then Kudus.
So going forward, what should we do to avoid these sort of wahala surrounding our captaincy?
Yeah, so I don't think the captaincy conversation is ever going to end. Like I said, I don't find any issue. The coach decided to give the captaincy to Kudus. He didn't explain why Jiku was sidestepped or sidelined for Kudus. And we did our investigation and found out that Jiku was being punished for misconduct, according to the coach. That's why they gave to say the next time Thomas Partey is not there, it will be Jiku. That's if the coach has gone back to him as a deputy captain. What we need to do is that we need to be communicating well with the public, because the slightest miscommunication, then you have a problem. People are complaining because Jordan is gesticulating with Coach Wesiapia. People think that he's talking about captaincy or that. So it may be the issue. The issue is that Jordan Ayew will not be happy that the captaincy is not part. Whether he's happy or not, he will complain about it. But it's the coach who chooses the captain. But what we need to do is that we need to communicate effectively, that the public knows who the captain is. So if he's not there, this person comes. Jiku is the deputy captain. So if Jiku is there and Kudus is the captain, what is the explanation to the public? Communication is very key.
And one other topic was Thomas Partey turning down a call-up due to illness, as Arsenal said. What do you think the implications will have on, what do you think will be the implication on the team, given that the captain himself declined call-up under mysterious conditions?
I don't know the mischief in there. He said he's sick. We have not found any medical reports. He said he's sick. He was called to come up for a medical inspection by the Ghana team. He did not turn up. It is quite worrying that our captain is refusing to come, but we also have to understand him. This is the time that he needs to get his fitness well, get his position in the club. But it was a very crucial game. I think that, but for the injury, he would have needed him. We have to leave that to the team doctors. But Otuado needs to be firm, because some of the players are purely not happy. And Partey's attitude of not turning up for that medical examination by the Ghana team is purely, one of it. He would have ordinarily come, but we don't know his medical condition. But he would have, if there was no issue, he would have come for that inspection. I don't think it augurs well, and maybe other players are going to follow suit and then decide that they don't turn up for a call-up. When they are invited for medical checkup, they don't, because there's a precedent that they are following from the captain. We need to find a solution to the supposed apathy. We need to find a solution to the players not eager to join the national, no edge for them to join the national team. We need to find a solution.
You mentioned that some players are not happy. Can you go into
That's exactly what we saw. Jordan, We've seen the frustration with Kudus. We've seen Partey. They are players. You clearly can see that there is a lot of, I don't know, but misapprehension in the team because they are not winning also. Yeah, you see that there are players who complete. You saw the GFA president blasting them.
For me,
the same things that he said.
To join you,
I'm saying,
to remind
you can
all
see
of
from
us
them that they are not giving their
who
effort.
we are.
When
and
you are happy
the
and you are
need
working,
for all of us to always remember that we are Ghanaians.
We clearly can see that they are not happy playing. That's why
we are here.
They are not happy playing for the national team. Some of them are not happy playing for the national team. Yeah.
I get from the Sudan game, we've discussed the two games, and from what people were saying from the two games, the goals we conceded in Accra, the goals we couldn't score, some people have attributed it to spiritism, like the Black Stars is spiritless right now.
There's no spirit. There's nothing. It's got nothing to do with spirits. We are just not too good. It's got absolutely nothing to do with spirits. If we had scored 4, nobody would be talking about spirits. We made so many chances against Egypt in Kumasi in October 2013, but we scored 6-1. So nobody is talking about the missed chances. We are just not good enough. Nobody is working against the team spiritually. They are just not good enough. Which spirit can block your opportunities of beating Sudan and Niger and Angola? What spirit will Central African Republic? There's no spirit. The team is just not good, and we have seen it across board. They are just not good enough.
So speaking about not being good enough, we have 2 games left. We need Sudan to lose both games, then win our next 2 games before we qualify. Do you think there is a chance for us to qualify? Indeed, there is a chance, but do you think Ghana will qualify?
Well, the chances is just 2%, and you can. Yeah, we don't have the destiny in our hands, so we are relying on somebody. No, so what's the guarantee that even if Sudan loses their 2 matches, we are going to win? You just need them to lose all their 2 matches at home. What's the guarantee that
Niger in Ghana?
Why are we waiting our games in Ghana? We drew against Sudan, we lost against Angola, so Niger drawing here is a possibility. Yeah, I don't think that you don't have our destiny in our hands. So it is just 2% is 99% faith or 98% faith, 2% chance. I don't think we can beat Angola in Luanda with this performance. Even though on a good day, the Black Stars can beat any national team on the continent, but with the performance, we'll continue to be edged in our minds for a long time. We have never been there before, beating big teams in the world and the last-minute penalty against Uruguay. That was top. And one of the proudest moments for me also was covering the Ghana versus Egypt game, beating them by 6-1 in the return leg, losing 2-1. That is the worst scoreline for Egypt in their history, and that day was impressive. I have never felt, because the goals kept coming, 6-1, and these were players that we have known for so long. So that's performance against Egypt, and of course 2010 World Cup, and you can go back into history and a whole lot of them, but I believe that the 2006 World Cup was also the highlight of it. And I practically followed all the qualifiers in Kumasi against Cape Verde and Samadi. Mariano Barreto coming back against Burkina Faso when we went there to beat them they beat us 1-0 in there with Sami Kofor's shoulder tagged in. The return leg in Kumasi when we beat them by 2-1. The big scoreline against South Africa was in the stadium that day. 3-0, the first time we beat South Africa in over 2 decades in Kumasi. That was the scoreline that changed. And of course, the big game at the FMB, that 2-0 with the introduction of Vuvuzelas into the Ghanaian lexicon. You know, these were games that you can never forget as a supporter. Also covering the AFCON, I've seen so many games that it will throw you off as a supporter. Yeah, but obviously, we have descended too low. I think the last time we did perform well was in Equatorial Guinea when we went to the final. But I don't remember the last time we've played a very good game, even in the World Cup also. But the qualification to the World Cup in 2006, qualification to the World Cup in 2010, and the World Cup in 2010 itself. And of course, qualification to 2014, especially the game against Zambia and Egypt. These were moments that you feel proud as a Ghanaian, but I pity those who are following the Black Stars from 2020. Yeah, I'm not sure you've had any good moments yet.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Talking about people not having any good moments yet, we've seen a viral video of you crashing out during the 2023 AFCON. How was that moment also like?
Yeah, I personally believe that that was the lowest we've gotten to. Yeah. And my main point at that, I just felt hopeless, you know. I've been telling you, I follow the Black Stars with my heart. Yeah. I'm not a journalist when it comes to the Black Stars. I come to the AFCON teasing other African journalists. So that video was shot by three terraces. We were leading 2-0, so I was going to the pre-match, post-match conference. I came to the first terrace, they equalized one. I couldn't understand, but we had 2 minutes left. Yeah. Then I came down, I was descending, then they had a corner. No, they had a shot that Ofori touched, and I didn't see that he had touched it until we watched TV. I said, why will you go and touch this ball? So watching the game from the stands, you will see that he touched, because we just saw that he raised his hand like he was innocent until the replay showed that he had actually touched the ball. Then I started shaking because the way he was shivering and shaking when the ball passed by him, I knew that there was disaster. So when I descended, I was going for post-match. We were celebrating qualification. Then they got the goal. So all your hopes dashed. You are now going to pack your bag. Because when you left the hotel, you didn't anticipate that the team will crash out against Mozambique. But the night before, one of the Black Stars players had sent me a message that the camp is not looking good. So he doesn't feel that they will qualify. The condition in camp, he doesn't think that they will qualify. I said, no, Master, don't joke. We have to qualify for the next stage. So when it happened, he was the first person who came to mind. And the video, I didn't see the guys shooting the video. I knew that they were taking a video of me reacting. But then, I am a fan. I'm not a journalist. The report of TV and supporting them. You don't have an option. So it hits me. That's that one. And the penalty shootout against Equatorial Guinea, against Ivory Coast. Those two. Yeah, I remember Senegal 92, but this one hits because they lost 2, and then...
You were a journalist who cut across. If you were to advise a young journalist, what advice would you give him? Go ahead.
Well, I think the best thing to do in this job is to continuously learn anything. Experiences, travel around, anything. Travel around doesn't mean going on foreign travels. I have watched games from all the league centers in Ghana, or majority of them, from a young age. As far back as 2003, I was traveling around Tamale to watch games, and these are things that you will never miss. When you become, at a point when you are no more interested in the job, you will sit back and you remember Caladam Park, you remember Kwabi Brim Park, you remember Okou Park, you remember Dance Park, you remember Waterloo Park, you remember Gapoha Park. The incidents that happened there, the things that you see on the road, you will never have anything with money to buy. I think the best thing that any journalist can do is to experience new things and learn a lot, and also not compromise on your integrity. That's the only thing we sell as journalists. When you compromise on your integrity and credibility, nobody takes you serious again. because a lot of allegations will come. But if you are not careful and one or two of it, you lay credence to them, you are finished. So integrity and also experiences. Even if you don't have money, don't have a lorry fare to come back. The one you have to go, if it's a football match, go to Tema, watch it. You have, and I pity people who are following Ghana football from 2015 or 20, because you don't feel what the league is. Yeah, these are things that I advise any young journalist to feel.
We are coming to the end of the conversation, but you mentioned that you've been covering the league since 2003. What's the scariest thing you've encountered?
I think Caladan in 2003 and Brekum. Sometimes in venues like that, Kumasi too, there have been very serious issues there. All the centers, but I think Caladan, Kotoko.
What happened?
Well, the hell broke loose. The referee abandoned the game and fled, and the supporters were chasing him. We were young then, and one of the so the game was abandoned. That's when the Caladan Park. There was no inner perimeter there. Okay. So supporters are just watching by the touch line. They can just go and slap a footballer and come back. They can catch the ball and wait. So a whole lot of fun then. And also I traveled to Kwabi Brem in 2005 May to watch Kotoko, not Kwabi Brem, Kade Hospice, Kade. We nearly had an accident on the road following Kotoko then, and that was one of the scariest to me. But we were all saved at the end of the day. A whole lot of things have happened in the league, yeah.
So the Caladan Park, is it still active?
Yeah, Caladan is still there, but if you ask anybody who's followed the Ghana League about Caladan Park, if you go and win at Caladan Park, you win the league. Kotoko were drawing there. I think, so they scored the second goal or so. I've forgotten the incident, but if you win at Caladan Park, you win the league. Yeah.
So it's been an exciting conversation with Sadiq Adams, a renowned journalist, and to get in-depth analysis or opinions on what's going on with the Black Stars. And I mean, we've had a long conversation. He has advised young journalists, and we've had shared some of his moments covering the Ghana Premier League. Of course, it's not like his days where 2003, where you go on the road and you see a lot of things. The intensity and everything has come down, but still, he has advised that, yes, as a young journalist, you have to follow the league. And, of course, you get some stories out of it. This is GhanaWeb Sports Check. My name is Emmanuel Enin. Sadiq, thanks for
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I hope you have another conversation next
Definitely.
I
Always
hope
available.
the Black Stars will qualify.
No, it's difficult, but let's hope. Yeah.
I'm 100%
Only a miracle. Only a miracle. Miracles don't happen in football nowadays. So.
So see you in the next episode. My name is Emmanuel Eni.
GhanaWeb in August 2023 launched the organ donation legislation campaign.
2007. I was Ghana Police Service.
The sad reality is that today our democracy as a country is threatened.
Words of affirmation or love language comes to edges.
When this bill is passed, more lives will be saved, and the financial
Kwalebu was, I think, 380.
380
yes. But private, some are 500, 450, some are 800, 860.
Per session,
yes.
You have to do 2 every
week.
Yeah.
Even if someone earns 5,000 Ghana cedis every month, that person cannot keep paying 380 cedis 3 times a week for dialysis.
Majority of the people who need dialysis to survive in Ghana don't even earn half of the amount mentioned.
Some people battling organ diseases end up losing their jobs because their companies cannot keep paying them for always being absent.
How are these people expected to afford the monies needed for dialysis as well as other expenses, talk less of the huge amounts they have to come up with for transplantation surgeries outside Ghana when they get donors.
It is because of these people that GhanaWeb in August 2023 launched the organ donation legislation campaign to push for the country to pass a law that will guide organ harvesting and transplanting.
As Kolebu plans to increase dialysis fees, the situation requires quicker attention and action.
And so, we must get Parliament to start discussing the organ donation bill and pass it into law.
Now, when this bill is passed, more lives will be saved and the financial burden on patients would be reduced.
And that is why we need you to join us on this campaign. Join the campaign by sending a 1-minute video of yourself sharing why Ghana needs a legislation on organ donation now to editor@ghanaweb.com or via WhatsApp 0552 699 625. Alternatively, you can share the video directly on your social media handles with the hashtags #PassOrganDonationLaw and #LegalizeOrganDonationNow. Organ failure should not be a death sentence.
Yen fast spices be a she. Ube nua po na o disa spices ni sha esisa ne taste no. E ma ne preko taste a wo pe. Ne be ma no bibi fufuro. Won say won di bi da ntini ka no wadwuma ye obasa se ma me ye de na okay. Enya spices na be ma na ye do.
Enya na ka say ye do.
Nti ye na odi ana wo be natural wo be say na de no minti kaka chofa minti garlic minti fina ade na de ne ye de. A normal Debbie. On that time, so to me, be not what is a garlic near dim. When I near dim power, when rosemary and the doors were a Debbie, when we are fabbing shit. Your money, Meko, I am money and chin.
Hello there, welcome to another episode, an exciting one of course, of People and Places here on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Echi Atisu. I'm bringing you a conversation that I'm personally excited about because it's about an indigenous Ghanaian business, homegrown business. This is not the kind of business you hear about every day in the news because, well, it's from right here at home. It's made by indigenous Ghanaian people. And the best part about this conversation we're going to have is that this business is well over a century. I'm sure you're already prepared to hear even more about this conversation. Once again, this is People and Places. When we come back, I'll take you right into the conversation. Don't go anywhere. This is still People and Places here on GhanaWeb TV. Before we go, I just remember to like this video, share and subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Now, as you can already see, this is going to be our guide for today. This is Na Afroa. Na Afroa is going to take us through all of the stories of this 100-year-plus old business, which is Ghanaian owned, and I believe that we're going to learn just so much. Nafoa.
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning there.
About you, Biaboko.
Yeah,
me won't say you man wash I said that. We then a number me. Preco. The friend of Domedo. You say it in seminar. You say more business way and yen a chasse. The chasse a chepa. They say over 100 years.
Yes.
Wow. One a share business now say.
My great grandmother.
Okay.
And Ojama, my grandmother.
Okay.
Na Omo Jamestown. Jamestown.
Okay.
Jamestown no share. Because say o share in fee obi omo ye domedum. E ho na my great grandmother free.
It just say business way a ahimfie business. If you ahimfie nankasa. Okay. 100 plus years.
Inti my grandmother. We no jama me mami.
Okay.
So me so time mami go school no na me tie u kakra.
Oh. Me Jesus na u tie u na wa agenda bibi so e bia business ni ntina.
No, anokware de ni kan na me tie u kakra nti na me perfie djuma pa.
Okay, u perfie djuma.
No dey say enka say chro bibi ni bibi nti eja. Na me di me hu nyina share djuma me nya 15 years.
Okay.
Almost like I says me nya 10 years na me di mama ye djuma ndada nso na me ko school kakra. Nso ebe drew baby na say let me start say me ton na ma hu scanty.
Na school ne ti we so.
Ena me mama nso anka nkire me say school ye de saa. Ebe bua me ochi ne bi say ebe interview me ameka brofo. Ntimi nko wanka nkire me ntimi nso ma hu. Ntimi be pay adwuma ne pa.
Into o she adwuma we say around 10 years.
Almost 15.
Almost 15. Between 10 and 15 years now. Okay, now we dada. It's around 15 years and now we move full time. You understand? We move full time. Into I be seeing now how many years now? 15 years till now. I had how many years?
To say manya 47.
Okay. Into between over 20 years. Okay.
Inti me na jama me mama no.
Okay.
Na me mama obe worry me papa. Me papa dey oti Adabranka.
Okay.
Inti the business ni ba Adabranka. Inti the ba Adabranka no na me be so. Afi dey mama me relax me nkasa na me kita business ni. Inti be ka say me dey ni so mu be 20 years ni. Na me kita.
Okay.
Enu nso na mayesa na ne ama bi wo me ni so. Afi dey mama nso ohun say ma be ni medjuma no pese bi nko sua bibi.
You say when okay. Into they say the woman made jama.
Owo home so won here bi.
Okay.
Say they were babre want to jama.
Okay.
Nti me so me worry na me di free Adabranka ba.
Okay. It's business no. Yen ko echi kakra. E sha ase no net sen. Me say na woni ho but ya kan sem natural. Net sen because over 100 years more dream who say business never done it to say it and I say after 50 years cry business never that's so
na sa dream ni ho sam mama no do mbe no ti say fie edwuma
bi yeah
nti me mama de obi ba ho put say o di camera ba ho obepa mo on person obi an ho say na edwuma na ni sutie nti onji ahoho
okay na efie
fie on pese ahowo pombra se ma mbe boa o
okay
say na dwe ni say be wi adwuma na ko eno mi na me be mu na me ma domedo business no eko TV so
say omo no mo ntia se
say there be say ebe mo e bia fame bi ana say ebe mo business ni
ama ko ka wi say
okay omo do mo nim say ebe wi omo adwuma no eno nto mo fa ahoho nye
at the time now of course sometimes now you need cameras internet media but in sembe na woman me a catcher I mean some of the things meaning say the secrets to their me won say their channel no mama sika na me to twa but saying na odesian. I want to know what were then I so and then we are trying to say senior we I didn't see now bo and namness don't pay now we say Nina you then now my make sure I want to understand how that helps in what you are doing.
Me mama one friend me say make sure.
Okay.
And so say yeah buano. Nti ye buano kaka na yenso ye hu de oye no. Na yenso ye chef. Say mama enya do be frɛ say be class no nkyerɛ. On kyerɛ. Nso me hu de oye no. E na me nso me ye. Na o ka kyerɛ me say na ni mama no mo na first no slaughterhouse e wo Accra. Jamestown ho. Nti mama mo kwa me di omo chiko ho. Ama ekoye na me hwe nso nya ade a me di me nsa so.
Okay. But now we
na me hwe na me di me mama echi pa. Ti na me hwe. Nti other people npe say me aunties na mo free ho no say be am call a big family. Me aunties na e wo ho no. Omo no mo call adwuma we edim pa.
Okay.
Nti omo mo call big farm no mo ntumi anye wo oven ni. Wo call won say wa ho oven wo. Omo ntumi nye nti omo de no omo ya na omo achi. Omo nua na omo achi.
Okay.
Na eno no de me mama ka kire me ni say on say breko fat wo ho. Nti say wo san ye uchi no fat mo. Ebe ma yare.
Na me say all the fat enso e kan ho because oil no so e.
Nti ye de na ye no. Ye de sha oven no ma. E twi fat ni nyina say ye process no be mo. E de shem na ye be twi fat ni nyina e free mo.
Okay.
E wo mo say breko fat ye say e ma yare mo. Nso enu nche say enu nti ubedi ni be. Nti na ye de na ye wo oven no still a ye nchi no. Nti me hu say difference e wo ye de no mo de no say we no breko no fat na obeyi wo mu no sa fat na obeyi wo breko no. Ye de bi we white we no. Ye de sija so a wo de nsuo gu ho. Nsuo ni san be stand than oil.
Okay.
Sa oil na e ba no bibi shiwa. Ye de ya obenya wo natural skin no back.
Okay.
And as sa fat ni so ye toma first no menim say se betumi aba ye toma footballers. Ye say so bi two edro na wo di go a ese edro no. Nti na eno de starter na ye wo ska wo pa.
But say more.
Me pese obi mfa konye me.
Okay. Okay.
Na we no de ade share oven no mo. Oil na e ba no. E yet say orange color. Sa oil no de stew fat we ya.
E be dane orange.
Orange. If say moko ni ni ama akọ. O de yi am be se na etie. O de yes stew a.
Ne de.
There be u better free. O sha why chance no. Mom ban yi anka me yes stew esi ho ama no be hwa.
Let me yes stew no. Enya nko yo.
Oh, inti when benefit the brave wo.
Enya na anka menim say preko nam no apart from say ye bedi net say enam a edi gu nkwan mu na say ya chi ye de edi niema sa menim say health benefits and say bibi fufo ho te say senior wo church mo fat ne dia wo church mo na menim say bibi sa wo ho
bibi sa wo pa.
I see
pa eneme nyina kire mo na ye de sha oven ni mu nso a
yeah
bibi by a friend no ye de school no nko ye bebenti ye friend sauce ye friend sas eba nsuo na free mu no niam na wo de ahye nsuo na free mu no wo de sas na wo de ye gare a de to gare keke na fa pot wo be de biansa na mo
be ko apart from enam no ye nya oil free
ye nya sauce
nsu free obitimi de aye wo wo de garnish wo gari
na ye nam ne nsu preko on spices.
Banko for people use spices
pa nti na mudi na enye de no. Nti na se mudi a me see me ya we a on be tasty way. Na on ko tasty we.
Sina o ka asem no me
ma wo se we no na ye.
Me twen ama that time maybe. Okay, but na mpese me bisa o. Ade nti na eye domedo. Me chesa ade na preko. I didn't any other meat, go to then at dainty. Why?
Say ye de shas no ye be hu say na no ye preko no ye. Na me nim say opese hu de nti o mu fe ne domedo no.
Eno so kan me pese me hu de nti e fe ne domedo. E na de nti na mo ye mo nam ne eye prekonam enye biabium
no na me ka se me betu ye no
okay
enu na ye na enu so nkyere se enu pe na me ye wo oven we mu
okay
me ye bibia gya nwa kwa odi ba me tutu ama me ye bibia na ye djuma na nkasa ni
okay
na de nti aye friend do
okay
on say wo di share oven mu a na o pese ye se ko ye beton a ye mane nye sa dry no sa if you say we mane ye dry bibria o sika no ebeye yi ebeye obeboka ahu enso se obi di beye party ana ebia nipa ne de ye eyi ana bibia obeka say opese enye dry
okay
na say eye dry na lechi no ubo ne say eye do
oh okay
echi no eno na ekasa na edi sa adi ne share ne do oh wo di share ovi no me dry na echi ni na ye scriptsy style be hand ubo so na ye do until my friend do
I see. Now we can say about spices na nkofo edeka enam ne ho. O say ntina enam ne nyede. With me treasure kaka.
Enam bia e wo de ope.
Okay.
Na mi be tu mi nana no. A o ye nam no. Eye nchini. Eni ntos, won say ntos na aba no. Ye ground there. Esunu kala ema.
Yes.
Na ye di meko kakra, meko na wo dry one no. Na ye di account. Eno pe na ye di share we.
Okay.
Ye fast spices bia she. Wo be nwia po na wo di spices ni sha. Esisa ne taste no. E mani preko taste a wo pe. Ne be ma no bibi fufuro. Won say won di bi da ntini ka no. Wadwuma ye wo basa se ma me de na okay.
Me won because my question is because ebimu it a preko no enye say if you nkwa na edi for restaurants kwa you use the amount of different flavors it all can win na imagine say it taste near den ankasa
ubenya ni natural taste
okay
ehun here spices o pese enye spices na be ma na ye do
enam nankasa ye de
nti ye na udi na ube natural ube say na de no minti kaka chofa minti garlic minti fina adena de ne de e normal debi on sa tan so to me di enam bi na uti say garlic na no di we na no di mpa we rosemary ni dos wo debi we no ye fa bi nche ye ma ne meko na ye ma ne enchini ewie
na ye na nkofo nim se sa na ye
debi enye omo edwuma
okay
enye omo edwuma me auntie di pork ni ba pig farm o jinkrofo bibre ti say girls o mbe ye edwuma ma na ade nti omo nyina omo koye no omo nso koye bi nso enye we edwuma no o be de na wa hu se ne ese yenye no so what you say
okay
o be say yi o be obi oye pork akra no de ase kwan hu ayete color
yeah
pork na ayete color
e be kan wan asem color na omo de to no e be kan wan asem
nti omo no omo ya ade a omo nim nso ti say obi chibo fruit e bia omo fi obo fruit na echi na o chibo fruit nso so no ni de taste na so na obi abesua na okọ odi nema ko hyehyɛ bo fruit mu sa na afi da odi kra bo fruit no anwa na ewo mu no nti anwa na yi so ati ma se dem pese
matawase
e na preko na ye de na ye no se ye oyo na ye yi wo mu uko se okoto preko be mo be okoto salad oyo ibe okoto akoshi gawa odichi na ebi ono nkasa anwa na ewo ne mu anwa na ye yi wo ne mu no pe na ye yusu
e trese preko na na ense se wo yusu de ma bebre kra de ye
enfa bibi wo outside enfa nka ne ho wo di ka ne ho awo ha no
okay
so what ma say nti yankasa esade we na ewo mu e ba out I know na ye say ye na ene wo oven mu fresher o china no pasa obedi a wo di onu ana nwa no be chi ne kama nti eno no enkom back e be san pie de amika no mi say say wo follow de amika nti ennum anwa no e be yi anwa ne nti de bia ye wo mo anwa e na ya anwa na ye wo no so yetumi to ebi mu beto we mu de omo ye car ho adwuma no grease or say gas or bibi
o che engine oil
no beto ye wo bi o ko be fa
o de
Only won't be answered that.
There will be some person.
Okay. Ma, ye try and crabba. Why? Ye ba in common be bro with this is still people and places. Where we're having a conversation with Nafua. Nafua has been in this business for a while now, well over 2 decades, and it's a family business that has been passed on to her. When we return, we'll get into the details about what the process of preparing this domedo is. Don't go anywhere.
Sweetheart, be mindful of your health. Dear products not your makeup. I welcome you to Sigma Health and Beauty. You can call us the Beauty Embassy. We pursue beauty more revealed with quality makeup products. There is only one place. The Sigma Health and Beauty 2022 Ghana Makeup Awards Beauty Retail Business of the Year. Of course, we are the defending champions. World-class makeup brands and Quanyeton, you name it. Maybelline, Dark and Lovely, House of Tara, and many more. Your professionalism in the beauty industry is unmatchable. Brahmi ensure the proper way of applying our products. Sigma Health and Beauty, Yewa Accra, Makola, Georgina Stores, and Rollins Park, Gate 4. Fryer in 0248 138 596 and 0201 408 186. Or visit our online shop at www.beautyavenuegh.com. Sigma, your beauty, our joy.
Welcome back. We've taken some few hours just to enjoy all the processes that have been going on with this very interesting process of making domedo, and I'm already salivating. I mean, you know, I can't wait for the actual time that this is ready for all of us to consume. I'm just sad for my camera guys who are behind these cameras because they don't get to enjoy this as much as I will. But anyway, welcome back. This is still People and Places here on GhanaWeb TV, and I'm still here with Na Afrowa, and then this Namwali. Namwali is also they are Safwanye. She actually helps Na Afrowa here. Now, ye koye no me hu say the nam no ye twitwa ni na abe do time we me hu say we meku na odia hye no nti ansa ye bedru ano me pese o church senior enam no the process ansa o bedu a say na o ye no unya nam na then na mo ye ansa ye do sa stage
ye kokunam no na ye di ba
okay
ye twitwa on say di ba ye full ti me twitwa to sizes and to parts obi wo ho ba ope ni tekrema okay obi wo ho pa so obi wo ho a ope ni sre obi wo ho ope ni bu nti me twitwa ni sa
nti mo twa o senior mo pen
me customers am ni mo bi de obi a pe nti sa na me twitwa no obi wo ho a oba be gi ni tipe nti etwa ni nyina area na ya yi hu ye be yi enwi na e wo hu no be yi nye ni nyina won say yi wo ho nso nkiti bi wo ho say onye na nye kama ti yi enwi ni nyina na ya hohoro ya hohoro na ya de nchini ahye
okay
ya de nchini yi wo nchini nsi onu na wo de mekwa ahye nda so
okay
nti e free aha e ko oven straight
okay
nti ya di show oven mu a won say na nkola na wo bibi wo ho ti say mo friend say mad no
nyan no mo okay eno mo de yeden
eno ye di nam ne hyemu a ye di tare ano no ye di cover
nti oven na no
ye be cover kra
okay
ye what time I say fam bin e bin so ayenim se ntebeba
okay I see but preko we I hu ye say ba ko say mo to na
The enemy na me 3,000.
Okay.
Preko boy the first no we better no be 600, 700.
You say the 3,000. That's like 3-4 times. Hey, and no sound still more business.
Obe ni say yusuku. Ejuma we want me can say ojai.
Okay.
Ye wo to say ye two lorry firm. Say ye two man no so atu atu. Nti ebia say first no ye ton no ebia ye ton we ebia 600 no. Me ton we ebia me ton ebia 150 ana ebia 100 cedis. So say me ton we 500.
Okay. Me nana
minsu me die no. Nti omutuma yensu ye nim se nya ebe kona. Ebe benya yesika.
Oh, okay. It's who then say who oje orders now I hear and I say
me G orders, me G wedding orders, me G engagements, me G funeral. Order bia ope. One kasa no we crash them na mo pese mo wi bia me G eno so order.
Okay.
Na we dey me nkasa me dey ameton.
Okay. Into we say ye we ko over
straight.
But enam na nkasa ni nyina ni.
Ni. Dey aha no pe ne yemu ade no. Full nam ni nyina ni.
Nti yemu ade no so moye ne sen.
Yemu ade no ye nwia eno a etwitwa large small intestines no. Eni ni mo frɛ no mo brofo kidney bibi na wo mu etwitwa ni nyina nkitin de jene ni meko ni curry ni amagu na de ahye large intestines no.
And no more they share.
Yeah, the best is sausage. Say na sausage.
Okay, we need sausage. Okay.
And so
and no see a guy.
The bruta. E say enko ejane sante say enko phone on.
Answer ebe call no last one. Na
ato cheese jam.
Don't pay no. Mo ye ne den.
Don't pay the stew. Say see ameti muti a won say ka obi bai.
Yeah.
Okoye outdoory. Into stew for ni patet.
Okay.
Auntie don't pay me here, maybe still say stew what about na my use.
Okay. And the ample oven one.
Okay.
Now we are by the oven and you might not see this, but there's a lot of heat coming out of this very traditional oven, and this is an oven that we used to use in the past. I mean, yes, a lot of our fathers and our mothers use these kinds of ovens. Many people know these as the kind of ovens that are used to bake bread, but today we're going to see a different use of the oven, where we would have the pork, as we call it, domedo, actually baked in here, and we'll see the final result. But again, the heat here is quite strong, and as she's already explained to us, we will get the oven sealed at a point. It will be sealed at a point so that everything in there gets time to cook. Now, it is to say, both now what they shame then me who say both ne daughter.
One say ye liver.
Okay. And mo ye answer ye ba.
There be mo ha na ye liver.
Oh, okay.
Liver no.
Into there what they
into liver ni ho nsuo no.
Okay.
No na ye dey ahye mo. Into nsuo na ye wo liver ni ho. E be yi de ye wo nam ni ho. E be yi ni nyina agu chance no.
Okay.
And only sauce na even yam.
Inti mo de enam no be share see way so.
Dadie na edi.
Dadie na mo de ahye mo.
Edi nam no be gugusu.
Okay. Inti no say how many minutes na enam no e take answer are you ready?
Se nam no skin ye din kakra. E be take 1 hour.
Okay.
Say enya din bibria. E be take 40 minutes.
40 minutes, into 40 to 1 hour. But what can I say? Mote cent now, number will say, are you ready?
And the cent in the Obi and Penamiti.
Okay. 1 hour better. Now we say, are you ready? Okay. So as you can see, we're getting the meat in there. This is getting to the point where it's almost ready, and as Na has already explained to us, it's between 40 to an hour. Minutes to an hour. So we should have our meat ready in the next hour.
Soft.
This is soft.
Okay, that's 40 minutes. We are good to go.
Okay. So we are good to go in like 40 minutes. We'll have this ready.
My baby, enough ready and soon.
Okay, so I see that now we're sealing this. Now you say we'll be sealing and all. Okay, so we're going to see her seal the oven, and as you can see, just look at that. This shows you how hot the oven is. Now there we go, she's sealing, and that's actually clay. This is clay. We made me up. Wow. Let me just also try. Oh, this feels good.
On the fine.
Yeah. Guys, I'm back to the village, and this is me in the village doing this. Oh, this is nice. I love the feel of what I'm doing. So we're actually sealing every opening in here, making sure that there's no space where any. Okay, there it is. She's actually making sure everything I've done is perfect. So this is good. I mean, this is good, man. So now that my hands are dirty, we would have to just wait for a bit. We've already told you the time that this takes to be ready, so at most 40 minutes, but we'll be back shortly. We want to see how all of this goes. Don't go anywhere. So our 40 minutes is well over now, and this is Namwale. She's getting the clay off the entrance of the oven, and then we would get to see the beauty behind the doors of this oven. I mean, look, you should be here to actually smell this. This is, guys, come see this. You should see this. So we have our meat out of the oven now. What you're seeing is the water from the meat whilst it was in the oven. That is being used to prepare what we call pinon. This is a hapinon, as it is known. It is another delicacy you can get from the preparation of domedo. So you see that the water is what is being used to sprinkle over gari, and so that it gives it another feel. It's a different kind of food you get. Actually, this food is from way free infa. Anyway,
way free domedo for any feel.
Ghana for Edian.
Ghana for Edian,
okay.
Yankasana,
okay. Into your friend Pinon, and I guess
a friend garlic sauce.
Garlic sauce. Sauce. The sauce is the sauce. What you are seeing here. It's the same thing people call Pinon actually, but for the indigenous people here, they call it garlic sauce. The sauce, as she explained earlier, is what is the sauce actually, but locally it is referred to as sauce. Okay. Into where you say you gari no. What the number count? Okay, so now we're getting meat on the sauce. My producer is in short now, so you are too excited. Don't worry, you're not the one going to eat this. So she's splitting this. Get it onto the garlic sauce. There it is. The aroma. This already looks like something we should be eating already, but hey. Okay. Where would you come, Pacho? Where's here then? When here? Sausage now. Yeah, no. Okay. That's also going on to the gari as well. There's a full meal on it, so. Oh, nice. It is a way. Please, can I have it then? I am going to do I'm going to do the actual tasting. So everyone, this is a garlic sauce with adomedo and then our bolo. Okay. So this is called bolo. This is adomedo. This garlic sauce. You guys watch me give this a try. I need another bite of this to tell you how it tastes. Remember that we added no spices to this at all. But I can taste everything like there's a lot of spice in there. I'm going to try the tomato for now to see. Once again, this is only salt and pepper. Someone is threatening me in the background, but you know, I'm loving this. Now the last one. This is a bolo. Let me see how this goes. Look, let's zero in and we'll come back, okay? When I come back, I would have been done with this bowl. So it's been a long day here. From the morning, we went to bring in the full slaughtered pig and all the processes. We saw all of that. And you just saw me actually enjoy a good meal. Something else happened in the background. Well, I don't want to talk about that. But we are now having a sit down. We just want to round this up. Say ye and nam no nisi hono. Minye de pa meti bibia wom sa me hu se enam no se na wo chirechire mo ampa se here in Nema be answer net down a pie. First of all, say ye no. So we person auto and namwe say na obe a contact because media me taste there. I hope say obi anso be nye bi edi. So we person on no e kasa na so obe business obe den a contact o.
Okay, so this person on contacting me no my 0244994088. My boss will be 0244994088.
Okay.
A friend on my way a be delivery man. Baby a person fan ko so you outdoor artist be a to me a delivery man.
Moko Ghana baby a.
Moko baby a o gogo domedo. Ube hu mi na meba first ino ma wo ho nti so bi pese onye opebi dia he bibia o friend no ma we obenya me I mean so pese on di wo fi o so pese on fanye bibi obetumi afa me ya mo.
Okay man say be kono sa business we ye ifie business my friend is a family business am why over 100 years ebi mon jintum say ubetimi start bibia ebetimi akoso sa for this long na eno then now be can found is it possible for Ghanaians to have businesses that would last for this long and still do well?
To me abasho sa if say obi ya obi be jam obi ebinum wo ho a omo pese omo ba enko sa business obi a pese the bank ye bi a government work na bibi na se oba cost our business we won so no do ye raba onim humem obetumi aye we no na akọ viral chain ye na e bia ye nim humem no e bia obebie ni say e bia restaurant and obebie bibi ti say e bia say pop or say papa na mo friend no dey we no betu obetumi aye bibi sa won say e bia ye ni fie afi na mi so mi di ko eyi kakra nti ubeka say me dey me pese me ba me adwuma we me pese onye office work fine office work enu so won so bet me the way nso a share kire no di enu nso aye bibi
into advice and say people should encourage say any if business is not starting so sa en shame
sa
okay
if you say meka champion restaurant
no
Adabranka no me classmate no na my eco school no me ye table so kakaka e no nka so be real school no dey no mu share mu say my restaurant ke sie ahanti sa na me encourage say unsu wo baby na wo ye fie djuma share no na wo be kire ni so kire ni yie ahu bibi obe ya ma mansan ma enye say wo ton ade ma mansan no ton ade na nkrofo na anya yare be ton ade amfa so be ba so ama wo ni nkrofo ni na.
Okay. Now finally enam no oton is saying they say we go we be person oto a hina
we start free 50 cedis circle.
Okay.
First you chat 10 20
say nema 10 credit enye
you started from 50 cedis.
Okay.
Go
50 upwards. Until be up na mo ye package ni bibia
ye package me mo me package ni na our phones no dey account ye packaging ye ebi oni microphone 20 maybe bones na wo mo no so ni nam ne bi ye stew.
Okay.
For outdoor parties ye stew kama who taste this stew na me ye bi na me dey man in office na
nyame be shira say wadwen won say obe send ye bi
say me fa ade ba ko njam me a me ni mu kasa wo ha no me ye ohima e wo pobi man ye na ye ma ask for asase uko ask park no me ye ohima the first nso mo wadwuma me ye obi wo ya se ne hima o se me ye adwuma me ti fie o twen na asase sika me da ho no ndi nti me di tu ohima fo ni na so mo fo mo nsa enye adwuma o mo ndi asase na o mo ton a o chine bi o mo na no mo ba o mo nya bi ntina so ni twa no man ya ba
ene e da sen so bebre say o wenya ho kwan ene ya akasa we are most grateful. So this has been People and Places. Well, thank you guys for joining us. It's been a very interesting conversation. A long day here for us, but it was worth it. I mean, for us to be able to understand this business, this indigenous Ghanaian business that has been providing food for people, the Domedo business well over 100 years. Once again, remember to like this video, share, and subscribe to the GhanaWeb TV channel. My name is Echi Atusu. Until another time, be safe.
GhanaWeb in August 2023 launched the organ donation legislation campaign.
2007. I was Ghana Police Service.
The sad reality is that today our democracy as a country is threatened.
Words of affirmation or love language comes to edge us.
When this bill is passed, more lives will be saved, and the financial benefit.
Kwalebu was, I think, 380.
380 Ghana cedis.
Yes. But private, some are 500, 450, some are 800, 860.
Per session,
yes.
You have to do 2 every
week.
Yeah.
Even if someone earns 5,000 Ghana cedis every month, that person cannot keep paying 380 cedis 3 times a week for dialysis.
Majority of the people who need dialysis to survive in Ghana don't even earn half of the amount mentioned.
Some people battling organ diseases end up losing their jobs because their companies cannot keep paying them for always being absent.
How are these people expected to afford the monies needed for dialysis as well as other expenses? Talk less of the huge amounts they have to come up with for transplantation surgeries outside Ghana when they get donors.
It is because of these people that GhanaWeb in August 2023 launched the organ donation legislation campaign to push for the country to pass a law that will guide organ harvesting and transplanting.
As Kwalebu plans to increase dialysis fees, the situation requires quicker attention and action.
And so, we must get Parliament to start discussing the organ donation bill and pass it into law.
Now, when this bill is passed, more lives will be saved, and the financial burden on patients would be reduced.
And that is why we need you to join us on this campaign. Join the campaign by sending a 1-minute video of yourself sharing why Ghana needs a legislation on organ donation now to editor@ghanaweb.com or via WhatsApp 0552 699 625. Alternatively, you can share the video directly on your social media handles with the hashtags #PassOrganDonationLaw and #LegalizeOrganDonationNow. Organ failure should not be a death sentence.
Beloved Ghanaians, democracy will work only if we fight for it, says President Barack Obama of the United States. I swore an oath to uphold, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, and that I will do right to all manner of persons in accordance with the Constitution and the laws and conventions of Parliament, without fear or favor, affection or ill will. I concluded the swearing of the oath with a call on God to help me. I'm very confident and have faith in God to see me through these dark days of Ghana and our young democracy. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start this presser by disabusing and setting the minds of Ghanaians at ease. There is no constitutional crisis in this country. I repeat, there is no constitutional crisis in this country. The Parliament of Ghana is alive and working. Let nobody mislead, misinform, or disinform you and the country. The democratic system we adopted and enacted, as captured in the Constitution 1992 and fleshed out in various laws, processes, procedures, and practices, is what has been triggered, and it is working. Let us allow it to work. Democracy is about the rule of law. Let the law work. The democratic system we adopted and enacted recognizes that in the course of operationalizing the system, disagreements will occur and challenges and problems will arise. The system has put in place mechanisms, structures and institutions, processes, procedures and rules to follow and apply to resolve the disagreement, convert the challenges into opportunities, and provide solutions to the problems. This is what is being pursued and applied. There is no constitutional crisis in the country. Beloved Ghanaians, I have served Parliament and the people of Ghana continuously for over 32 years as a politician and over 42 years as a public servant. I cherish the role Parliament plays in our democracy, and my mission is to leave Parliament a stronger institution than I met it. Parliament is alive and working. It has not been dissolved, prorogued, prohibited, suspended, or terminated. The plenary sitting and meetings of Parliament were adjourned indefinitely due to lack of quorum to take decisions created by a walkout staged by the MPP members who were available as a result of a disagreement. The cause of the disagreement, which led to a disorder, had to be resolved with time and engagement of many more leaders than those in Parliament. The adjournment was done by the lawful authority, the Speaker of Parliament. Let us stop pressing the panic buttons and fear-mongering and allow the system to work. Anger and indecent language rather inflames the situation. There can be no democracy without patience, tolerance, discipline, collaboration, the love for one another, and consensus building. Ladies and gentlemen, one may ask, what led to this disagreement? Following a statement by Honorable Dr. KCL Atuba Forson on a matter he considered to be of urgent public importance on the 15th of October 2024, and comments thereof by other members as permitted by the standing orders of Parliament, I communicated the findings of my inquiry into the matter as the Speaker of House on the 17th of October 2024, the contents of which has been construed to be a ruling. The Honorable Alexander Afenyo-Markin disagreed vehemently with the contents of my communication as the Speaker of Parliament and proceeded to advance an earlier action he had commenced in the Supreme Court on the 15th of October 2024 to prevent the Speaker of Parliament from receiving and making any pronouncement on the subject matter of the statement made by Honorable Dr. Kesel Atuban-Forsen until the final determination of the matter by the Supreme Court. The rest, we say, is history. Ladies and gentlemen, being a party to the suit in my official capacity, I am mindful of what I say. But it must be said, the suit before the Supreme Court raises not just legal questions, but more importantly, has profound implications for our democratic system of governance. At its core is the very essence of our democracy. While many legal arguments have been advanced in and out of the court, I recognize the fact that connected political and governance implications have not been addressed sufficiently to enrich the national discourse. It is my considered view this should also be vigorously articulated to give a holistic approach to resolving the issue. As one of the protagonists in this matter, and a long-time practitioner, it will be a disservice not to respectfully draw your attention to some of the facts, principles, and ethics of politics and governance, the practice and procedures of Parliament, and what is generally referred to as parliamentary law, to throw light on some aspects of the matter and to clarify the considerations that underpinned my actions. The current brouhaha may be likened to a power play between the arms of government, and has the potential to undermine our democracy and the authority of Parliament. Its outcomes could subvert Ghana's constitutional order and the democratic system. Ghanaians have toiled, sacrificed their lives, and shed blood to establish for decades. Ladies and gentlemen, recent acts of the judiciary and executive, and I see them as interference in the workings of Parliament, pose a direct challenge to the essence, jurisdiction, authority, powers, and functioning of the esteemed institution of Parliament, which is the repository of the sovereign will of the people of Ghana. It is increasingly becoming clear the judiciary and the executive are seemingly colluding to weaken Parliament. The decision of the Ghanaian voters in the 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections is clear and loud to all discerning people. The decision is obviously a preference for a consensual and collaborative governance to a winner-take-all government. The majoritarian system of parliament, where the minority have a say, but the majority have its way, was rejected by the voters. They rather opted for inclusivity, collaboration, consensus building, leaving nobody behind. The equal representation of the two major parties in Ghana, resulting in the composition of a hung parliament, to the voters is the better way forward for our dear nation. The expectation of the voters is this will lead to the constitution of a parliament where the national interest will prevail as against partisan or parochial interests. This is the context and the peculiar situation I have to preside over as a speaker. I'm the first speaker in the Fourth Republic, in fact, in the history of Ghana, to work with a president who belongs to a different party, to work without a majority party in parliament, but with an evenly divided parliament, 137, 137 apiece. That is a hung parliament. Decision making has therefore not been smooth sailing. As the Speaker of Parliament, I hold the balance in favor of the national interest, but sometimes bend backwards to accede to government requests because government has been given the mandate to govern. It is with this understanding I led the board of the Parliamentary Service and members of Parliament to provide procedural rules of engagement to actualize this goal and to provide for the possible types of government as envisaged in the Constitution. These possibilities include an election of an independent president to form a government, somebody who contests, as we have now, as an independent presidential candidate can be elected by the voters as the president of Ghana. How is he going to work with Parliament to get his or her business, that is government business, approved by Parliament? We have a possibility of a minority government where the voters vote for the president, but he has less members of Parliament, and that is a minority government. How is he going to get the majority members of Parliament to always approve his business for him to govern the nation? We can also have a coalition or a merger of parties government. And the familiar one we know is a majority government. These are possible governments constitutionally guaranteed in Ghana. In the current hung parliament, the new standing orders of Parliament had to cater for such a government by a number of provisions in the standing orders. We also provided provisions for all the other options of government that I just explained. For instance, a day which we called a decision day has been designated in the new standing orders, where the Speaker, in consultation with the leadership of the House, will set aside to allow members of Parliament who are ministers and deputy ministers the opportunity to be present in Parliament to be counted in support of government position to ensure government business does not suffer for lack of government members of Parliament in Parliament. Despite the above, often the number of government members present still don't add up due to the nature of the duties and responsibilities of ministers and deputy ministers. The NDC members of Parliament, however, understood the situation and on daily basis cooperated with the MPP members of Parliament to see government business through. In spite of this, the NDC members are said to be saboteurs of government business by the MPP members of Parliament and the followers of the new patriotic party. Those of you who cover proceedings on daily basis are witnesses how sometimes I have to look at the members of the NDC in a very stern manner, which made them give in to their objections, just to get government business going. Ladies and gentlemen, the powers of the judiciary ends where the nose of Parliament starts. The Constitution is very clear on freedom of speech and of proceedings of Parliament. Articles 115 and 116 grant members of Parliament privileges and immunities of speech, debates, and proceedings on any matter or thing brought by a member in or before Parliament by petition, bill, motion, or otherwise. And I want to quote the two articles to you. Article 115. There shall be freedom of speech, debate, and proceedings in Parliament, and that freedom shall not be impeached or questioned in any court or place out of Parliament. Article 116. Subject to the provisions of this article, but without prejudice to the general effect of Article 115 of this Constitution, civil or criminal proceedings shall not be initiated against a member of Parliament in any court or place out of Parliament for any matter or thing brought by him in or before Parliament by petition, bill, motion, or otherwise. This means happenings in Parliament must remain in Parliament. So the court must and has always been hesitant to interfere in the proceedings and decisions of Parliament. In the celebrated case of Tufuo versus the Attorney General, the Supreme Court affirmed that happenings in Parliament are a closed book. Despite these provisions, the courts are replete with debates and proceedings of Parliament. Most worrying is these proceedings are initiated by some members of Parliament even leaders of parliament who ought to know better. Parliamentarians who are to be loyal to parliament rather than to the Supreme Court run to the Supreme Court at the slightest opportunity to use the Supreme Court to undermine parliament. This might be one of the reasons parliament and members of parliament are not respected and treated with disdain. This was exhibited by the president's refusal to even receive the LGBTQ plus bill, duly processed and passed by parliament without any legal basis. The judiciary is supportive of this conduct by the receipt and processing of a suit on this subject matter. These are dangerous precedents in our democratic journey. Both the president and the judiciary have sinned against the Constitution and must seek the opportunity to confess and repent to be forgiven. I am confident the battles we are fighting today will make our democracy stronger and more vibrant in the future. I believe in the supremacy of the Constitution. Mark my words, the supremacy of the Constitution, not the supremacy of the judiciary or Supreme Court. I also believe in a vibrant parliament that is respected and accorded its due on political questions as long established by law and decided cases. A parliament that understands, reflects, and embodies the will of the people and defends its constitutional prerogatives only works in the interest of Ghana and Ghanaians. Not a rubber stamp parliament subservient to the whims and caprices of the executive and or the judiciary. Again, I strongly believe that Parliament was one of the institutions President Barack Obama had in mind when he opined, while in Ghana in 2009, that Africa needs strong institutions and not strong men. I'm happy he didn't add women. Parliament must be strong to perform its legislative function and the indispensable function of holding the president to account. That is the oversight function. No other person or body has the gravitas and constitutional mandate to do so in Ghana. The public, media, civil society, and other partners in governance can make constructive inputs and criticize actions and omissions of arms of government. But these bodies are not constitutionally and legally structured and mandated to hold the executive to account. Parliament is elected. It is, at its best, the will of the people, legally and constitutionally structured and mandated to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, my dream, therefore, is a patriotic one. The existence of a firm, effective, efficient, and responsive parliament whose members place national and constituency interests ahead of narrow partisan or personal interests. At last, this is yet to materialize in Ghana. Parliament weakens itself when its members keep running to our courts to settle or seek favorable determinations of not just legal matters, but essentially political and governance questions. It is my strong belief the matter before the Supreme Court can be settled within Parliament through matured deliberations and compromises. Please, make no mistake. Not all the strong men President Obama warned us about come in military uniforms. Some come dressed in suits. I hope in my lifetime, Ghana shall have a parliament and a speaker who are truly independent from Jubilee or Flagstaff House or any headquarters in the conduct of parliamentary business. Let me state unequivocally, Parliament owes its duty to the people who established and elected its members to serve and represent them. The wheels of Parliament will continue to turn, and no person will be allowed to disrupt parliamentary proceedings or to undermine the democratic mandate of Parliament. When I ruled in January 2021 on the issue of which side constitutes majority and minority in Parliament, the ruling was in favor of the majority group then. It was not an act of lawlessness as to cause constitutional crisis. When I ruled in the matter of the vacation of seats